Welcome to a scene set in the Chronicles of Darkness, Vampire Requiem, a Requiem for London. Tonight, we set our scene within the Italian Gardens, just off the edge of Hyde Park, near Kensington Palace. Through tugging and pulling of many strings, it has been decided that this is where the blood-red wedding of Jason Stanford and Morgan, matriarch of the Crown, is to take place. Kindred arrive to the Italian Gardens. They find that it is a very picturesque looking park. Carved historic pools and fountains, sculptures along pavements, and delightfully arranged flower beds and scenery. It is just within for words. I'm just going to call it a pagoda. Looking at, yeah, one of the garden pagodas that many of the kindred have gathered. A lot of seating has been set up, and there are mortals present, eager to be fed from, in something of a daze, or blindly enthusiastic. No expense has been spared for this event. There are not too many kindred here, but each one is somebody who has made it in some way in London. Be it one of the sheriffs or the primogen or an up-and-comer within their sect's ranks, or somebody who's just managed to buy their way in through the door, which in many ways is just a testament to their own influence. You see the sheriffs, you see Morgan and Stanford, you see Notary Grimald, who is presiding over the event and is the one who will be administering the oath of matrimony. Some of you see a tall woman who looks almost inhuman, well, actually looks completely inhumanly beautiful. Charlie, it's Juno. You see the Archbishop, you see the Sheriff Fane. Violet, you see your sire. Merkin and Nisbo, you recognize the Keeper of Elysium that is on the sect. And Alexa, of course, your sire is here. You all arrive, when do you all arrive? Is it like some of you late, some of you early, or some of you already socializing, or just off in your own corner?
Alexa will arrive early, as it's always been drilled into them that one is never late, and it is often better to be early than directly on time. Plus, that allows them to scope out any potential problems that may be arriving.
Isabel will also be early. She still 100% doesn't know why she's got this invitation, and she doesn't want to look like she's being inconsiderate about having it. So she's definitely gonna be early.
The Harpy remarks on how terribly unfashionable you both are. But otherwise, you have an early in to socialise with people.
Vi will arrive early and head over to her sire, I guess.
Duncan will arrive precisely on time.
Someone with taste. You arrive around the same time as your keeper does. How about Bishop Charlie? Bishop Barnett is the more appropriate term, I think.
When does she show up? She shows up 5 minutes early, but doesn't go, but like, kind of does that thing people do when you wait in your car. And then, like, we'll walk in probably more or less. Yeah.
This is a bit too relatable for me. I need you to stop.
You can buy my silence for 5 cents and a pack of chicken nuggets.
Deal.
I will send you my Venmo.
No, his name's Chris, not Matt.
I'm in fact. Anyway.
A Wulu can find 5 cents.
So.
A Wulu has more sense than most.
No, this is a highly accurate statement. But, so some of you arrive early, some of you arrive on time. No one makes the risk of trying to be fashionably late, perhaps wise given the severity of this event, despite it being a celebratory affair. How terrible would it be if you were looked down upon here? It could end your political career. Or your life. So you're given some time to socialise before the event starts properly. But eventually all called to attention by Notary Grimald. All of you have come to know Grimald. Her full name is Esther Grimald. And while she was always a prominent figure within Invictus circles, she has become a more public figure for the domain in general, not just because of her age as an elder, but also as she is poised, or so it is rumored that she is to become the seneschal of the domain once everything is settled. And so she's very much the talk of the town, but then everybody here is the talk of the town, including all of you. Take your seats. Alexa, you get a seat next to your sire, as well as Violet. Isabel and Duncan, you're seated towards the back. Bishop gets a seat towards the front, next to the Archbishop.
That's not awkward at all.
Oh, pardon?
That's totally not awkward.
Oh well.
Duncan's gonna lean over to Isabel and goes, nearest the door, just in case anything goes down.
Are you expecting it to?
Are you not?
I don't know. I don't know what to think, honestly.
The to-be seneschal goes to speak. Kindred, my delighted kindred of London. We are gathered here today to recognize a great and powerful union. Something that will bring peace and lasting prosperity, and perhaps more importantly, hope to all of the kindred of this city, and I hope to all of you as well. I must say, it is strange how time moves for our kind. That years and decades can fly by, and in these small flashes of conflict, they can seem to go on for years. And I am glad to see it finally pass, for it feels as if I have aged 50 years in the past 4 months. But from that conflict, so have good men and women of our kind stepped up to do what must be done for all of us. And I am incredibly grateful that you have come here this evening to show your respects to them and to congratulate them. I hope you will find as much joy in this occasion as I have. Stanfort and Morgan will appear from opposite sides of the pagoda and will begin to head towards the front where a dais has been placed for the notary. Once they are there, Seneschal turns to Stanford. My Lord Stanford, do you swear to uphold the oath of matrimony, to care, serve, and protect Lady Morgan in all things? At her lowest moments and at her highest peaks. You swear to be with her. Stanford says rather calmly, I do. She turns to Morgan. Lady Morgan. You swear to serve, care, and protect Lord Stanford. To be the guiding light in his own life. To aid him. As Queen. To care for him when he needs you most. I do. And it is when Morgan says that the open palms of the notary burn with what appears to be signatures. It's difficult to see from how far away you are, and your vision being partially blocked by Morgan and Stanford. But you can see the soft red glow emanate from her palms. And you feel the air thicken somewhat briefly. As you sense the bonds between these two kindred solidify. into something intangible yet very powerful. And it is with immense pleasure that I can declare you King and Queen of London. And there is a round of applause.
Long may they reign.
Long may they reign. King Stanfort and Queen Morgan. Long may you reign. So the Cronin sanctified, particularly the sanctified, so Bishop Charlie. It is particularly noteworthy how none of this has much of the spirituality you'd expect from a conventional wedding. It does come across as quite positive. But after a brief round of applause and Stanfort and Morgan descend and the notary descends and the crowd parts off, sort of leaves the pagoda. Something akin to an after-party seems to begin as kindred begin to remingle with each other, and it is your opportunity to forge some perhaps much desired connections with the top brass of London. Or maybe just catch up on some very, very, very juicy gossip. Alexa, it is, who are you with? Are you with any of the kindred who are invited? Like Duncan or Violet or Isabel? The good Bishop Armand?
I think out of those assembled, I've actually have never met the bishop before, but no, I believe I would have come on my own. There's a particular kindred that I would be looking out for, the one my sire mentioned of our blood. I don't suppose Polymai would be here, would she?
Lucky for you, she is. I will just put her on the, let me see. Like you, she had a space towards the back. She wasn't exactly a priority, but she did manage to earn or buy herself an invitation. She's well dressed. She has short black hair that runs just past her ears and tied into a neat bun at the back.
Excellent. Well, while everyone else is mingling and such, I'll approach her and offer a slight bow and greeting. Introduce myself. Alexa Fujita. My sire, Mori Ken, mentioned that you would be a kindred worth meeting.
Ah, yes, he referenced you. Rita. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. She gives you a slight bow, some more of an incline.
It's my understanding that you had a little bit of influence in our dealings around here.
I think it would be better to say that I know the correct people. I've made it my business to be other people's business.
Oh, I see.
So people will come to me looking to get acquainted to other people, or maybe looking for someone who can be a solution to a problem they'd rather have kept behind closed doors.
Well, then you would be a very valuable asset then, if you are as well connected as you would, as you say.
An asset? I'm not sure if I should take offense.
I hope you do not. We are all assets, in one way or another.
Yes,
It is whether we see ourselves as such. That's well, perhaps I should say ally. I tend to get wrapped in business lingo sometimes. My apologies.
Well, that's quite alright. It's a common trap we all fall into at some point during our lives, I find. I used to have a similar problem. But, I suppose if you're both here, I could introduce you to some of the guests if you wish.
Well, that would be most helpful. You, as I am much more newly arrived, I've made a few friends of my own, but someone with your expertise would be very much appreciated.
Well, come with me. I can introduce you to one of the city's other up-and-comers.
Oh, do tell. Lead the way.
She's going to lead you over to Bishop Barnett. Good Bishop. There are two kindred that are approaching you.
Oh joy. So the dear bishop looks, oh god, how to describe it? She has this very polite smile on her face, like she's probably talking to the archbishop, probably talking to some other random person she doesn't care about. And I don't know how perceptive you would consider either of these two characters, but it is very much that I am smiling, I am talking to you because I know I'm supposed to be polite here, but I would much rather not be here right now. And as she kind of sees these two figures, she kind of does the, I'm going to go talk to other people. And she turns and she gives both of you a very bright smile. And she's like, well, I don't believe we've had the pleasure of meeting now, have we?
No, we have not, I'm afraid. But I have heard of you, dear Bishop. I'm Polymai. I'm a simple neonate of the Invictus, but you can just call me Polly if you This fine gentleman here is Alexa. He is the child of Sheriff Mori.
Again, like that kind of like mediocre, like or medium length bow, because I'm not really sure how important this person is. So, like, we'll give a little bit of deference. A pleasure to meet you. As Polymai has told you, I am Alexa Fujita. It would seem that there are quite a few influential kindred about.
I suppose you would be correct, though, to be completely honest, this is really just an excuse for all of them to talk to each other.
Well, yes, of course. That is often the purpose of these events. Connections, business. See what ties we can make amongst each other. The domain is more powerful that way.
Are you not a fan?
I am perfectly fine with socializing and making connections, as I'm sure you're aware, Polly, but some days maybe I just want to be invited to a wedding and actually be able to attend a wedding.
Was the service not to your liking, Bishop?
Oh no, the service is absolutely beautiful. Once again, I am finding myself falling into bitterness these nights. Perhaps some socializing will do me well.
Anything we can do to keep your mind off things. I know it's been a rough few months for all of us. And I only arrived here a couple of years ago.
I arrived here maybe 6 months ago.
Oh my, and your introduction to the domain must have been quite rough. I'm so sorry. But you've come so far in that span of time.
She kind of like laughs at your introduction to this domain must have been quite rough, and then like waves her hand and says, "It coming far doesn't mean much. I did what had to be done for the sanctified and for the domain. If I end up as bishop, that's just a consequence of my actions."
A just reward then, maybe.
Sure, a reward.
Bishop, you have quite the interesting.
I'm from Memphis. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. We can go ahead and get that. Sorry, I get that a lot. Yeah.
I think
no, it's very charming.
I am a very charming person most nights.
I find that to be the case with most kindred in these circles.
most of them are charming, at least.
There are some that I must admit I'm curious to see here. And Alexis will kind of like look about to some of those assembled, particularly Isabel. Though, I suppose everyone has their uses. And perhaps there was merely a bad night that I caught them on.
You'd be surprised what people are capable of. Perhaps they've proven themselves in other ways.
Perhaps. It will be interesting to find out, at least. I don't know. She looks towards Isabel. I don't know that one. Which is interesting to me because I know almost everybody here. Even if for some of us it was only in passing. I'm sorry I didn't introduce myself to you sooner.
Please, I take no offense to it. I'm sure you have been very busy these past couple nights. I know I have been very busy these past couple nights. She looks like she's about to make a joke and then decides against it and mixed company. But sees basically Isabel's like, well, why don't we go ahead and make an introduction if we don't know this person?
I'm somewhat well acquainted with that individual. I can make the introductions if you'd like.
Oh, really? Well, that's delightful.
I suppose Alexa will lead the way over to Isabel.
I'm gonna say Isabel is with Duncan as well. Is that with Crone?
Yeah, Isabel's gonna have her. She's just gonna be extremely nervously looking around as she does not leave Duncan's side.
Good evening, Miss Isabel, and I believe Mr. Halleck, correct?
Your memory serves you well. Hello again. Fujita?
Good evening.
Good evening. I don't believe you've been introduced. I'm Polly, neonates of Invictus. And your favorite neighborhood fixer.
I'm gonna be right back. I gotta take some bread out of the oven.
It's no problem. We'll go get your bread.
That's an interesting euphemism.
Wow.
Isabel will offer her hand. Oh, I'm Isabel Bailey. I'm a member of the Circles of Crone.
Delightful to meet you.
You as well.
Tell me, Polly, do you know of one Dr. Hartwell?
I know of him. I've never met him.
Isabel flinches.
Well, this would be his child. I've met him a few times at this point. I find him to be a rather lovely gentleman.
That's very interesting. She looks at Isabel and her demeanor changes slightly. Becomes a little bit more wary. Just ever so slightly.
Yeah, don't blame her for that. Can't argue with that.
So, dear Isabel, child of Dr. Hartwell, may I ask what manner of deeds you accomplished to make your way here?
I'm gonna be really honest. I don't know.
Oh.
Did you not assist in the obliteration of, what was his name? Verve?
Oh yeah, but I spent most of that getting my ass kicked. I don't think that would be the reason why. And there are other people who assisted more who aren't here.
Well, if that is the case and you do not know why you're here, then perhaps It is not merit that brings you here, but the intent of another.
She has come to the attention of the Lady Morgan.
Has she?
My.
That makes you quite important then.
Especially considering that your sire is on such thin ice. Spoken by the Queen herself.
Yeah, I had to make it very clear. I don't. She kind of takes even though she doesn't need to, she kind of takes a couple of deep breaths to like calm herself. I made it very clear that I don't share my sire's views.
You don't need to be so anxious. I don't like.
No, the topic of my sire makes me pretty anxious.
Is there any reason why that is? I do apologize if I'm causing offense.
Oh, he's just not a very he's just not a very popular person, and it's fine. It's fine.
What did he do?
It's nothing. It's fine.
I'm actually rather curious. My interactions with him have been, for the most part, pleasant, and he's been very helpful in some endeavors.
So Charlie, this whole time, has just apparently been watching silently. And just kind of grins as Isabel talks about her sire.
Yes, this is Bishop Charlie Barnett, Isabel. I don't know if you've met.
We met.
Oh, right, you were there at that unpleasant business at the stadium, weren't you?
Indeed, I was in the stands.
You watched?
Oh, there seems to be something that this could be quite interesting.
I'm honestly surprised this hasn't broken news yet.
To be honest, I've only been within the city for a week or so at this point.
Charlie kind of like waves her hand dismissively as she talks about the events and says, the long and short of it is the Carthians had an individual who, well, I suppose the polite way of saying it is, had eyes bigger than her means and was promptly dealt with. Though
The news on the grapevine. I was at the Elysium. Master Foster, Mr. Foster brought forth his ashes. Brought forth her ashes.
it was, well, I would say it was a pleasure asking her, but killing's killing regardless of who it is.
A necessity at times.
And Isabel, I understand what it's like to have an unpopular sire. I'm not sure if you ever met mine, but he made an impression. If you ever need a confidant on how to deal with that, I assure you I've been where you are, and do it when needs to be done. It's never easy alone.
Yeah, I did go to Morgan about it, and she gave me an offer. I need to know what she exactly means before I can agree or disagree. But thank you for the offer.
Anytime.
Well, when royalty gives you an offer, it is generally not a good idea to refuse. Just something to
Isabel
keep
just
in mind.
She gives a tiny noise of concern and just kind of slowly presses herself a little bit closer to Duncan.
Duncan will take a half step in front of her. Just slightly, just to try and make her more at ease.
Hey, Violet.
Yes?
Your sire is just walking you over to the assembled group. I'm sorry if I'm intruding, but I'm drawn to wherever Veria whispers and gossip. And I hear a lot of it over here.
She's speaking of Via, right?
Oh,
I
no,
believe
she's speaking
she's...
for the group, but she has walked Violet over. So everybody sees this kindred walking Violet over.
Good evening. We've met before, but I'm sorry, I don't recall your name.
My name is Grace. Not many
Great.
people know of me. I make it my business not to be known, but to know things. I am of Clan Maquette. A bit stereotypical, I know, but the hat fits.
Well, I suppose stereotypes exist for one reason or another. Alexa Fujita, a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Miss Grace.
Child of Sheriff Mori Ken.
Indeed.
Recent arrival to the domain.
You do indeed know things.
Bishop Charlie Barnett.
Yes.
I'm sure. Oh, are you going to rattle off your facts now? Please, go ahead. I'm intrigued as to what you know about me.
Well, now you've killed the bus, I can't. If you're going to call me out like that.
Oh, pity. I guess not everyone likes the spotlight, huh?
I must admit, it is not my preference.
Kind of just like one of those very quick, like, pouting faces, and then just resumes neutral, polite expression.
I know you've been doing good work looking after some more deserving of a revenant within the city. I hope that doesn't come across as too offensive, but my experiences with, well, have generally ended in violence. And I do not seek it.
I assure you that the issue in the sewers has little affiliation with my flock, as we'll refer to them. And I have, frankly, no objection to watching everybody down there burn.
Really?
Your friend Damien volunteered to go.
I'm not surprising. Damien's perfectly capable of handling himself, and she'll turn to Alexa. I'm saying that wrong. One more time, please. But she'll turn to you at like the really and just kind of like very deadpan go. There's a cult of maybe owl worshipping revenants in the sewers being run by what was thought to be a dead man. Welcome to
Owl
London.
worshippers.
Oh, do you know
Oh,
what
I am familiar with the owls at this point.
Hopefully not too familiar.
I've had a few of their claws in me at this point, I believe. So yes, somewhat familiar.
Once again, the issue in the sewers is the issue in the sewers.
Yes, there are unfortunately larger versions of those underneath us.
Lovely. Absolutely lovely. That'll have to be dealt with at some point.
You can generally tell the level of potency depending on whatever it is they're possessing at the time.
Yes, I don't believe the ones that I dealt with were particularly strong, but they were possessing revenants.
The Grey Man is quite frankly was likely out of our league to begin with, and the Owls made that 10 times worse.
I hope you don't mind if I disagree.
You are more than welcome to. We very likely come from different parts, or you introduce yourself as a neonate. I assure you, you are not the only young one here.
Oh, this is
I just happen to know my...
This is Grace speaking, who is not giving her age.
Oh, my bad. She just shrugged. She said, I know my limits. I know that my limits are not... And she kind of like gestures vaguely down that... Though if you and your child are, otherwise, then I highly suggest you go down and help deal with it.
The Strix are like us in many ways. We have power over humanity because we keep from ignorance, because we enforce a masquerade that keeps us safe and them weak. The same is true of the Strix. They infiltrate our society without our knowledge and hide themselves from us, similar to when humanity learns of our presence. You'll find that they are not so strong when you learn about them and what they are capable of. They rely on subterfuge and secrecy to maintain their power. Without it, you'd be surprised at how fragile they are and how quickly their facade of fear collapses. They are dangerous, and for one to have possession over an elder, very dangerous, not unbeatable. And now we have the tools to defeat them because they've revealed themselves to us.
Isabel kind of peeks out from behind Duncan. You just kind of gotta know how to deal with them.
A secret jealously guarded by some few bloodlines, I might add.
All
Well,
the criminal were sanctified, of course. Such sorceries are often our greatest hope in defeating them. But I'm sorry, I know I come across as very confrontational and overconfident. I'm sure I'm being perceived as a know-it-all right now.
Your company has been nothing but delightful. Unfortunately, I'm finding myself busy with a million things. These nights, being bishop comes with quite a bit of paperwork, and I'm going to need to excuse myself.
Well, if I may help with those, perhaps at a later date, she will hand you a card with a number. Just a number, no name, no nothing, just a number.
She'll take it and nod and just go, if any of you need me, you are more than welcome to find me at the circus in Camden. And with that, I'm going to fuck to sleep. Good night.
Good night.
An interesting character, that one.
She has been she's gone through a very dark place. But I have much respect for her. She has done what needed to be done, or has done what needs to be done. Qualities in kindred so young are rare.
I suppose that's true amongst others.
She's kind of looking down, but she's looking
Bonnie just fidgets with the jewelry on her wrists, just pointedly ignores her. There is only so much bullshit she's gonna take at any given time from her sire.
I would extend to you the same offer I've extended to her. I am very well informed of you. And if there's anything you ever need to know, I can either discover it for you or point you to someone who does.
At very reasonable rates, of course.
Of course. Just like Lady Mai over here.
Everything has a price. I am curious. Usually people that deal with information and contacts have certain areas of expertise.
Consider me to be an expert on the affairs of our kind. But
Very well then.
Shall not take up your time any longer. Have a good evening, Morley.
And to you as well, Miss Grace.
Knowledge is always the most valuable thing one can obtain, whether one is fighting Strix or going about in the world. That makes you very powerful, and a good person to know.
And what would you know? I should have asked beforehand. What do you prefer to be addressed as? Polly, Miss Mai, Polly Mai?
Oh, you can just call me Polly, it's fine.
Oh, good, good. What would you say your area of expertise is?
She actually considers that for a moment. I suppose if Lady Grace focuses on information and focuses more on implementation. If she involves herself in the art of discovery, I involve myself in the art of doing. I might not know everything that goes on within the domain, although I'm generally quite well informed. But I certainly know who to point you to in order to get something done. And sometimes that person will even be me.
Very well.
And sometimes you just want a younger face.
There are certain perspectives that are not popular among the older kindred. A different view.
Although I suppose in a few decades I may be saying something very different.
Time makes fools of us all.
It does.
So they say.
But it can also vindicate.
But so does rosemary and garlic.
What?
And I think on that note, I'm going to take my leave. But,
Should I have not made that joke, Isabel?
It's okay, Doug.
If you ever wish to find me, I run an agency on the north side of the Thames. Just ask the Harpy. You'll know where to find me.
I look forward to doing business with you in the future.
It was lovely to meet you, Alexa. And the rest of you, of course.
It's a pleasure.
I hope we cross paths again.
We most certainly will, but I won't speak for the others.
Knowledge is always a lofty goal, and one that you should strive for. Not at any cost, for some knowledge is not worth what you have to pay.
Interesting to say that. That fey creature from the Elysium said something much similar.
I have had dealings before. Their philosophies are very similar to that which was espoused where I was forged.
I found them similar to the vein of the Invictus, but also a little different. Something like... It felt almost like a mixture of the Crone and the Unconquered's philosophies.
Did they speak to you of the time before when both worked in harmony?
Now, there was some allusions to deals made and so on and so forth.
Oaths tendered. bargain struck, and a legion of green.
And as if in response to those exact words, a very, very recognizable kindred approaches.
Is it time for Isabel to meep o'clock?
I mean, meep o'clock isn't exactly hard to do.
Yes.
Lucy channel.
Oh, it is meep o'clock.
It is meep o'clock.
Queen Morgan now approaches you.
Cue immediate bow of deep respect.
Yeah, Vi in her new fancy dress will follow with a deep curtsy.
Okay, Isabel's gonna scramble into a bow as well.
Duncan will incline his head and say, "My liege of green and steel."
There's an embellished smile from Morgan. If it isn't my favoured guardian, please be at ease. I merely wish to mingle. It is good to see you, Master Halleck. I'm glad.
He will incline his head and go into the at ease position. Or stance, I guess you would.
And dear Isabel, I'm glad you could make it as well.
Of course, Lady Morgan.
Are you quite alright? You seem ever so anxious, if I do say so myself.
Nothing more than usual.
You are very... She doesn't finish the sentence. And just allows his imaginations to run wild.
Isabel just kind of wilts a little.
Like I have.
Yeah, I guess that's a good analogy. About your offer. What did you mean exactly?
That depends entirely on what you want. My dear.
How exactly did you plan on and she's gonna use air quotes up freeing me?
You see her eyes sort of slant down towards you a little bit, and they darken slightly. The smile slips somewhat from her face. Wrong with sympathy, if you like.
Can we all do that?
Yeah, you couldn't all do that, but Isabel will get more information because she has
the context.
She has the context.
Single success.
That was with sympathy.
With sympathy.
Seems like a single success town today.
Jesus!
Or not.
Wow.
God!
Jesus. Okay, well, I'll treat Alexa as if you had the context then. That's a succession success.
Hot
So,
damn.
Isabel, so for everybody else, so for everybody who's not Alexa and Isabel, clearly Isabel has said something to offend Morgan. Morgan has definitely taken offense. She didn't take offense initially, so maybe it's perhaps to do with her publicizing the specifics. Perhaps it wasn't something Morgan wanted publicized. Perhaps it's a sect matter, perhaps it's a more private matter. Either way, it might not be particularly dirty laundry, but it's clearly laundry that Morgan did not want aired. Isabel and Alexa. You get the information that the others attained. But you think perhaps it's also a case of the very way in which that was worded implies something sinister or insidious, and as such casts Morgan in a bad light. On the very night that she's being celebrated as a monarch of the domain. In a night that she likely really wanted to just go smoothly, or given her very high standards, likely wanted to be perfect, and now there is this tiny black spot on it. And it's just there because someone talked and said the wrong thing at the wrong time. And while the rest of the night may be wonderful, the contrast of that little black spot compared to the rest of the night is going to be so vastly irritating.
Oh, I'm gonna spend the next 10 years fucking making this up.
Only 10.
You're right. You're right!
Duncan understands.
The rest of my unlife.
So, not only has she publicised something that Morgan didn't want aired, but the time and the place makes it even worse. And not only that, but it casts her in a very insidious light. Like, to quote free somebody, that sounds very suspicious. So, clearly Morgan did not want to have doubt cast upon her on the very evening of her ascension. That makes her look weak, particularly when a statement is made, such as made by a neonate.
Hey, Isabel, good luck.
Gee. Oh, you wait, Harley, you wait, I'm not done yet. Just pointing my finger at the screen. There is a moment that Morgan just recomposes herself. The darkened eyes fade. The very minute indiscretions in her body language return to normal. As I've said, dear Isabel, it depends entirely on what you want. I am not here to force a binary choice onto you.
I didn't think you would. Isabel's currently trying to make herself seem very, 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 very small.
No. And lest we all remember, it was you that came to me.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, it was.
But I cannot help you if you do not tell me what it is that you want. Or the one who wishes to be freed. The question is, how and why? There are many answers to that question, Isabel. You need to cast aside your doubts and make a decision.
I will leave from here today, and I will think on it, and I will get back to you as soon as I can.
To fumble from one impulse and one guardian to the next will leave you vulnerable and easily forgotten. I do not wish this for you, and I know you do not wish this for yourself. But I say this to you now, so you understand. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I do look forward to hearing on your decision. My favorite kindred is one that makes an individual, unique choice. I find an ever-decreasing number of us have that sort of individuality. We simply follow blindly. But my dear Violet,
Yes, Your Majesty.
I did not expect you to be here. It is a very welcome surprise.
Congratulations. The ceremony was wonderful.
I'm glad you thought so.
I will give a soft curtsy.
She places her hand on your arm and says, "I'm ever so glad you are there to see it."
Violet flinches, steps back, looking very uncomfortable. There's a moment where the guard drops. She just...
Ooh. Tell me how she feeling.
Just I guess if she's mind reading, the immediate thought is just, oh god, someone touched me. Fuck.
My apologies, did I make you uncomfortable?
You are fine, Your Majesty. My apologies.
But you are not, and clearly I am the cause of it.
Vi just shakes her head. You are perfectly fine, Your Majesty. I sincerely apologize. I have been distracted tonight.
I hope you've not been left in distress.
No, certainly not. It just startled me.
She'll place her hand on her chest, in a very genteel fashion. Well, that does ease my heart. As does your presence.
Again, just the... Hang on a sec, am I hearing this right? She just nods and is just... Well, congratulations on your matrimony. I do hope that you and Prince Stanfort find happiness together.
We definitely shall. And thank you.
This is not a problem. She will give a deep curtsy.
She turns from you and looks to Fujita with a sort of like more... It looks more respectable when she looks at you. The way she looks at you, it's a look sort of the same way she looks at Duncan. Like it's like, you know, it's like I have a bit more pride in you. Like she clearly has a bit more respect for you.
Alexa stands up, just a bit straighter. They already have like a very rigid backbone, but it's just gonna like square the shoulders,
I don't believe there's much more between us that currently needs to be said.
No, my queen. Probably not. I am still, as ever, in your service.
That is something I can respect.
I hope that in the times ahead, if you need something and... Well, I hope in the times ahead, if you need something that requires my aid, you will not hesitate to call upon me.
I certainly shall not. You and Master Halleck are men of a certain caliber. Perhaps you both signal a return to a better time.
I can only hope to help to instill a sense of I see it as a sense of duty, though I suppose a sense of honor would be a better choice of words. if I can lead by example for those of my age, then I will do so.
She sort of is nodding as he sort of turns to Duncan as if she shares the same sort of expectation she has in Fujito with you.
There's the spell, and there's the shield. You know which one.
I have sensed many trials and tribulations for you both. You will have plenty of opportunities to prove yourself, to rise and fall. And then she gives a sort of knowing look to Violet. As if to
Oh,
imply she
concern!
senses the same thing in her.
Remind me what the same thing is?
She says she sensed many opportunities in the future for Alexa and Duncan to prove themselves and to rise and fall. But she speaks of it in almost like ethereal sense, as if she's literally foreseen the events. I should go and return to my game. Thank you for speaking with me, and I look forward to seeing all of you again.
Thank you for blessing us with your radiance, my queen. Give our best to the king.
Farewell, Your Majesty. Do take care.
Enjoy the rest of your evening, Lady Morgan.
Farewell.
You always have my oath, my liege.
And you have
I look forward to meeting others who deal in more so over the.
She will nod to that as she departs.
As the queen departs, Alexa will kind of give like a knowing smile to Duncan. Well, it seems that we have much to live up to.
It seems we do.
And to Isabel, just remember what I said.
Isabel, are you quite alright?
Ask me that again later. She is notably not alright.
A strange looking man who looks woefully out of place approaches you all. As he just says, "Oh God, no, she's fucked."
That's rather strong language. Who might you be?
It's accurate language, though.
That doesn't mean I wanted to hear it out loud.
I mean, don't you want to hear the truth before you die?
Nah, I already knew the truth. I didn't need to hear it.
Well, I'm glad to do you the service.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, it was a very impressive art of flexibility to open your mouth and then put your foot in it so thoroughly.
I'll be one minor boon, please.
Can you repeat that?
He just says that's one minor boon, please.
Oh, I don't think so.
So fucking cheap, huh?
You can just turn around and walk the fuck away. That's fine.
Would you mind toning down the language, please?
I don't know. This is just kind of my general term of address.
I had to step away for a second to answer the door. Did I miss anything?
Some weird guy
There's
with
a new guy.
and a baseball cap has just approached you with like a long trench coat and a jumper on.
He's currently rustling Violet's jimmies.
Yeah.
Out of character, would this happen to be Chad?
So for what?
Oh no, never mind, wrong face claim, sorry.
If I were you, I commit. You got all of these different, how to put it in a way that you'd understand. You got all of these different connections, all of these different links, but they're all strained against each other because you want to be friends with everybody, and you don't have the balls to make a call on who you actually want to be friends with because you're terrified of pissing somebody else off. I've seen it before.
I'm sorry.
I'm back.
Who are...
I'm Invictus. They call me Bagman because I take out the trash. You know, it's funny.
Ah. Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I like it personally. I actually think it's kind of cute. But yeah.
A little on the nose, but yes. I suppose it has its charms.
I tend to usually beat around the bush, but you know, sometimes you just gotta tell it how it is, you know? And, now. Right now, poor old Isabel. She needs a show.
Oh my god, my grandsire's gonna kill me. It's not even gonna be Morgan that does it.
I don't think you upset Her Majesty nearly enough for her to kill you.
That's why I said my grandsire will do it.
You're woefully off base here, dear.
Why would she kill you?
Oh, why would your grandsire?
That would make it end far too quickly.
I'm looking at this as it unfolds, and yeah, you've rustled the Queen's jimmies. It's not unrecoverable. It happens. You've stuck your foot in your mouth.
How do I get it unstuck?
It's not what you're saying that's annoying, it's what you're refusing to do. And your friend Constantine is not the problem. Sure, he might like you a bit more than his own kid, but that's not the highest bar, let's be honest.
Hartswell is certainly an interesting one.
Yeah, he's a guy. I mean, you could spend the whole night talking about him, but, you know, I don't like to linger on dead horses.
I need to foot out of mouth, and I don't know how to foot out of mouth.
That's not the problem. Stop. No, I've literally told you that's not the fucking problem.
Make your decision.
Make a
Pull
choice.
the trigger. Be decisive.
I mean, I'm not going to say I was eavesdropping on the conversation, but I may have been. But that's not even what's important. I'd know this anyway.
Vi just kind of cringes.
I don't think it's what you said so much as how you said it. And when you said it. And who you said it around.
That's true, yeah. You kind of made it look... you know... a little bit toxic.
Nefarious.
Yeah.
I didn't really think about it.
Tonight she's supposed to be a beautiful little bluebell, and you want to just screw that up. Also, no, don't tell her I said that, because she might actually kill me. I'm just joking, she won't kill you. Mainly because it's totally impractical to kill me. I'm not sure about you.
I would remember something that the Queen said. She wants kindred that make their own decisions, that are independent thinkers. Prove to her that you can be that, and this little indiscretion will disappear.
She likes people who take initiative. You don't have to be a trendsetter, but if you just follow, whoever has the biggest stick, I mean, what does that make you? I know, it sounds a bit weird. Oh my god, elders with an ideology? Say it ain't so. But they have them. Even the old blood of their beliefs. As muddied as it is. So, think about what you want to do with your life. And then either go to Morgan or somebody else with that call. Okay?
Yeah, I can do that. All seem like nice enough people. Why don't I give you a leg up? Apart from you keep cringing at me. Stop frowning. You just justify it.
I mean, she only did it for a split second before her expression went back to mirror smoothness.
It is interesting how jumpy some of the kindred in this society are.
I mean, I am. You know, you see some things and you're like, you know, it's, we're all jumpy, some of us just like to mask it with audacity and confidence.
You were going to say something.
That'll earn him a smile.
Now stop looking, and he just says to her, now stop looking so damn miserable. I'm gonna tell the whole damn city that you have a crush on the Queen.
Vi just looks revolted for a moment, just...
There we go. takes a picture of it on his phone. Just takes a picture of your expression.
If I just kind of glance around for a second, just where the fuck is Messiah when I need her?
Delete it. See, I'm deleting it. He shows you the phone and sees I'm deleting it. Even though Cacophony would fucking love it. I'm doing this now.
What kind of phone is it?
Oh, it's ultra modern. It's modern, but it's not like it's not flashy. I would say it's modern but not flashy. Fairly advanced.
I'm just like, the picture could have been uploaded to the cloud already. It's fine.
Yeah.
Don't mind me just activating fucking obfuscate. Checking this guy.
Do you actually try and obfuscate?
No.
Oh. Because he's gonna be like, I see you.
So I just kind of crosses her arms, just... You were going to say something?
Who, me?
Obviously.
Alright, well. I was. Then I had a look over at you and, You've had a very long time with absolutely nothing now.
Sorry, out of character, come again?
You said you've had a whole 15 years of not a lot, huh? You've got some
I'm a science.
You've got some interesting connections, has to say the least. Well, I guess you know what, we can be best friends now.
I'm a scientist. I focus on my research and I keep that which is precious safe to me.
Yeah. I know. All I'm saying is you know some very interesting people. For someone who hasn't been out in over 15 years, I'd say that's impressive.
What do you mean by that?
You know, that's a great question. But honestly, I don't know answer it.
Alright then. Just come in here spouting pretty much nothing and go about with your day.
I mean, like, I could say something, but I mean, you don't like what you think either of us didn't want to say that, so...
I mean, you can say that he said nothing, but he has said some very interesting things.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think it's interesting. I mean, I could, you know, get a lot more, like, intimate, but that's pretty tasteless, and, well, you know, you've just met me.
Yeah, Vi is full on glaring at this motherfucker.
I'm kind of a jackass, but not that much of a jackass, you know what I mean? You know, even I have standards. I'm not that guy. You know, I'm not gonna... I'm not gonna sell out the things you've never liked, have talked about right in front of all your friends. That'd just be gross. You know? What sort of reputation would I have if I did that? I do like
At this point, I'm just... Yeah, Vi is like full on glaring at this dude, just...
That's being miserable again. Well, I tried. But yeah... I I can put you online on the coffee if you like. I'll get you to stop glaring at me. See, I'm being nice. Stop glaring at me.
I think that's just how she looks.
Wow, like.
It's true. Of the few times.
Yeah, I wonder if she's been single for 15 years. Christ.
Hey, now that's a little bit too far, don't you?
She keeps glaring at me.
Unless you have anything useful to say, I recommend you exit this area.
I'm trying to. Do you even know what I'm offering you? Actually, he looks around. Do any of you know what the cacophony even is?
It's the information network, right?
Oh, thank God. Yeah, it's really. I'm just gonna say it's really funny that the person who was just berated for having their foot in their mouth is the only one who actually knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
Merely the only one that spoke up.
Well, you know what? Impressions count. That was what the whole speech was about, you know? It was about, like, you know, impressions matter. Anyway, yeah. Basically what it is, if you want to know stuff, you need to be in, like, you know, if you want to know stuff about us, you need to be in the cacophony. That's what it is. It's everything from coded magazine outlets to hidden online forums on the dark web to just random gossip being scrolled on some fucking toilet stall in the middle of some nightclub. Hell, there are whole walls in abandoned industrial warehouses where we just share the latest gossip with each other. It's pretty rad. Not my style, I don't really do that. I'm more beat-boot technical sort. But you know, you gotta keep up. So yeah, I'll give you a link to the forum if you don't mind. Or you know, I can just walk away and you can. I can just continue to be weird and creepy and say stuff, but instead of like saying it to your face, behind your back instead.
I prefer it to my face.
Oh, hey! There we go. I like you. Not for any reason, just because you had the right. You just said the funny thing.
I just realized he called Violet out with how long she's been embraced, and she hasn't mentioned this shit to anyone.
Yeah. He mentioned a bunch of shit about you and like half of people here that he's like that he shouldn't know, and he's just, you know, talks very casually about it. Anyway, I guess I'll see you around. Friend, I mean, it's fine. I have tons of friends, you know. Yeah, sure, they're weird, creepy usernames, but it's fine. They're nicer than any of you are. I'm just joking. I'll see you around. Probably you don't want to run into me later, because if you do, that means you've probably done something really bad, and I'll have to kill you. It's my job.
I don't like that.
Okay, well, don't mess up. All right. Don't pout, don't mess up. There you go. Let me leave. He just turns on his heel.
Well, that was both entertaining and informative.
The state of the room right now, just violet glaring. Isabel, fucking meep o'clock.
Isabel's always a meep o'clock!
Alexa's standing there with a smug smile on their face. Yeah.
The one time she wasn't meep o'clock was when she's trying to save Sadie.
Oof.
Well, this
Would
has
Violet
been fascinating, but I think I'm going to take my leave.
If anybody wishes to socialize with other characters while they're here, if they want something in particular, if they want somebody for some purpose, or say they want to align themselves with a very wealthy kindred, or they want to align themselves with somebody who's influential in a specific area, or someone with particular station, then feel free. And but I think we'll call the scene here. That's okay.
Good. Isabel's gonna seek out Nanette.
Yeah, Vi's gonna seek out Hasire again.
Okay. Then as the group departs for safer, calmer waters, we shall call it there. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. We'll see you all next time. Bye bye.